There we go. All right, everybody. Hi. It's been a little while since I've last talked to you. I apologize for that. I know you were thinking isn't there supposed to be a wizard in this course? And so there still is. Between the hurricane and administration dividing us in two, it kind of threw me off a little bit, and so I wanted to get back in touch with you and let you know that I've had a chance to review all of your proposals in discussion number 3 for your research projects. And I've commented on everyone who has contributed to the discussion. So please go back and review because you'll see my comments. If I've given you a thumbs up, I've also probably given you some advice as well, and perhaps even included some resources that you might be able to use for your projects. If you have any questions, please get in touch with me. If I haven't given you a thumbs up, I definitely have issues with your proposal at this stage, that I'm not clear about where you're going exactly. And then usually it's the same problem, and everyone has these kinds of difficulties in proposing a research project. They're always usually too broad. And so the focus is really essential, because it's just an 8 to 10 page paper, and so you don't have that much time. I know you're thinking 8 to 10 pages, oh my God, but no, 8 to 10 pages just give you a chance to really describe a problem pretty well, and then perhaps to investigate some of the issues in it. And that's really it. So it's harder to write these papers than you might think. So please go back and review my comments and my advice. In many of the cases, if I haven't given you a thumbs up, I've asked you to get in touch with me directly. So please go ahead and send me emails after you've read my comments and had a chance to think about which direction you want to go in. Because quite often, it's just clear that I don't know what you're really interested in researching. And so although I've made some suggestions, and maybe one of those clicks with you, maybe it doesn't. And so please let me know, all right? And I'll help you go on from here. But here we are. It's a quarter of the way through the course, and we're right exactly where we ought to be. And so at this point, it'll be a matter of collecting your resources and putting your annotated bibliographies together. That's your next major project. And of course, this week's discussion has to do with Galileo's letter to the Duchess, in which he complains for his life, because in the 17th century, the church is the predominant power still in much of Europe, and the consequence of heresy is burning at the stake. And so Galileo's life is at stake in making this argument, beseeching the Duchess for help at the royal court to try to get some of the heat off his back that these priests and theologians who are complaining about his research. All right. Fortunately, we don't have the death penalty for heresy these days. So that's what's at stake for Galileo. And so do your best with that. And of course, about the same time frame, 1637, you have Descartes writing in Northern Europe. And he also has these concerns too about what can be known, right? And so his project is this one of skepticism. And so the reading you'll find is a link to Bennett's article. And it's kind of a more modern writing, and so it should be a little easier for you to go through. But you'll see the structure of how Descartes builds this case to arrive at his famous cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am, right? So at least I know if I'm thinking these thoughts that I must exist, right? And so that's the one basis for his certainty. And then he builds whatever knowledge he can on top of that foundation. And so he's also concerned. He's a priest as well. And so he certainly has faith in God. And so you'll see that dealt with as well in his writing. So in these two readings, you really see the crux of some of the concerns of this course about the nature of belief and reason and how one is reconciled with the other. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have questions, please get in touch with me. You guys are doing great so far, so just keep trudging on. And I'll get back in touch with you once I've had a chance to review your annotated bibliographies and so forth, and encourage you to write your first drafts, all right? And remember, this project really is just writing the same paper 3 times. You have to do a first draft, and then you have to revise that draft, and then you have a final draft. If you like the results of your first draft, you still have to revise, so you have to read my comments. But if you like the score that you get on your revised draft, you simply submit that for your final, and you're done. All right? All right. Hope you're having a great time this semester, and I'll be in touch with you soon. Bye.